Well, as you guys can tell, it's a very rainy, gray day in Florida, and I figured it's a perfect time to do some cool stuff to the 240. Now that we're back from OSW Spring Break Bash, and we had a semi-successful event with the new engine, and it ran great, and I'm very happy about that. We do have one thing I've always wanted to do this car for a long time now. As you guys know, at the last event we did have some rear end issues, breaking the axles and the stubs and all that kind of stuff, and that will be fixed very soon, but we're waiting on parts. But for the time being, I'm gonna install something I've always wanted to install the 240, and I've been waiting a long time for this. I'm finally working with them, and I'm very stoked to put these on the car. Alright, so I got a kind of a big box right here, and I've always wanted these, and as you guys can tell, I have had these stock door cards in the car for a long time. I did take a peek and kind of test fit the new ones before the video, but on this side you can see I have stock S13 door cards kind of modified to fit the X-Bar cage, and I wanted to keep door cards in this car, and that's why I have the X-Bars. So X-Bars aren't the greatest thing ever for cages. They work, but I do want to do a different door bar style later on, but have a tasteful door card at the same time. Alright, the rain's kind of loud right now, but that's okay. But here we have the S13 V2 door cards. Now these are not made out of the typical OEM kind of stuff, but it has an OEM style towards the top, but a very flat bottom for extra clearance and more of a tasteful look in a race car or a street car, any kind of application. But I'm very stoked on it. These look really good, and I've always wanted these, but I'm very happy to be working with Street Faction right now. Street Faction has a bunch of stuff on their website, and they have awesome stuff, and they're very kind of just different things to add a lot of style to your car. But thanks to them for hooking up with these. I'm very excited to get these in the car and get going. So you do have to do a few minor modifications to the stock door to fit these on. It's not that hard. It comes with a full kit, installation kit in there. I'll grab it real quick somewhere in there, and yeah, we'll get to it. But pulling off the door cards are really easy. It's kind of, I mean, I had mine on there of like 2 bolts and some clips, but the OEM ones do come off a lot harder and a lot more tedious to get it off. I already pulled it off. I'll show you guys how to do that on that side once we get to it. But alright, so you got a full package right here of all the tools and nuts and bolts and straps that you need to install these door cards. I watched their video on it, so I'm pretty familiar with it, and it's very easy. I'll try to do a very familiar video of how to install, but more of like an actual user-friendly video. But it's very self-explanatory. It's pretty simple. You're basically just riveting on new nut certs for different bolts to fit into the existing holes, and then some clips to mount the door card itself to the door. So these do come with some really cool door straps to actually pull the door close to you and not have to reach and grab the door. And you know, if you're in a cage car or a car with a harness, you can't, you know, you strap in, you're like, oh crap, I can't reach the door. So now I have some straps to grab onto, which will be much easier in a race car. And you have this drill bit right here for the correct size to mount the riv nuts or the riv bolts in there. And there's a riv nut, riv bolt installation tool with that as well. I'll show you guys how to use that. It's very easy. I don't have a gun for it, but this will work because, you know, you gotta have that for it to work. Got some awesome Street Faction stickers, and all the nut certs, all the bolts, all the clips, all nicely packaged, all sealed up. Very nice packaging. Stoked on that. Some spacers right here for the bolts. We'll get to that later. Got some more like Street Faction badges. Kind of cool. Probably add those on there as well. Alright, so you will need a few tools while installing this. First, you're going to need 10mm socket, 8mm socket, 12 wrench, rubber mallet or plastic mallet. It's not metal. And then a few other tools as well, like Allen keys and stuff like that. Now, you do get this drill bit that is supplied with this kit to drill out the holes to make them bigger for the riv nuts in the door to mount the door card to the door itself. So it's pretty simple. I'll try to film every aspect of it and then go from there. But I'm excited. I did pull it off like I said before, and I painted the top piece right here and up here and also behind like here and here because you can see some red from it previously being red in the background. It was bothering me. So that's that. But other than that, once we get this thing on there, it should be pretty easy. Now, there's 5 holes you gotta drill. There's, I think, 1, 2, 3, and then 4 and 5 over here. And those are the holes you drill out for the riv nuts. And then once those are drilled out, fill those in with the riv nut itself and the riv nut tool. And then once that's in there, it's pretty easy after that. You just kind of, you know, place it on, pop it in there with the plastic clips, and then screw in each and every bolt with the spacers behind it so you don't crack the door card itself. Alright guys, so trying something new today. Got my GoPro on, kind of like a first person view of this whole install. It's pretty cool. So first things first, gonna drill off these 5 holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 down there. So yeah, it's pretty simple. After that, we'll put the rib nuts in, get the door card itself in there with the clips, and then we will screw on the door card with the spacers behind it and the bolts into the new rib nuts to mount it to the door. Alright, so all 5 holes are drilled out for the rib nuts, and then we should be good to go to get the rib nuts in there. Alright, so basically first things first, we're going to go in there and get the rib nuts in and in place. Now this tool right here is a very, it works. It's like a rib nut tool if you don't have a rib nut tool or rib bolt tool, whatever you want to call it. Basically you just clamp this nut down with the 12mm wrench and then get an 8 or 10mm socket, and you hold this piece down with the wrench like this, and then this will be essentially, it will be in the hole, and you screw this in. We'll hold the wrench, stopping this nut and letting this nut and letting this bolt go in, and this will expand inside of the door itself, therefore putting it there permanently to use all of these bolts to go in to mount the door card to the door. So pretty simple. Let's get to it. So first things first, we're going to start with the center hole right here. This will be for the door like handle, essentially to pull the door to you and stuff like that. We'll do that one first because we have to feed that through the door card once we mount it on, and then we'll get to the other 4 in a second. Alright, so you're going to have your 12mm wrench with your rib nut installation tool, and basically just have it already kind of snug to it. Get it in the hole, place it there at the wrench, hold it in place, get your 10mm wrench, and just kind of go and go and go and go until it's snug and that piece inside expands and stays in there permanently. Just kind of break it loose. We should be good to go once it's in there. Okay, and our bolt is, well, our rib nut is installed in the door. Pretty freaking simple. This tool works very well, actually. I wish I had an actual rib bolt gun. I don't know how to have one of those yet, but I'll have to get one. But this works just fine if you don't have one. So cool. Let's do the next 5, and then well, no, next 4, and then come back to it, and we should be good to go. Alright, so up next, first things first, we're going to get the door handle, the nylon door handle in with the smallest bolt that is provided in the kit. And you basically just put it in, sandwich it in, and you're good to go. So let's get to that, and then we should be good. You can use a hex or an Allen key, and whatever works. And obviously it's the centerpiece right here, so you can have that right in the middle with your current stock door, lever. But once this is in, you're good to go. Alright, so that's in, ready to go. Up next is the actual door card itself. I'm very excited for the new slim OEM kind of look. And then once that's in, we'll use the actual clips that's provided to do the bottom ones to get it on the door itself. And And after it's on, we will start to bolt them in and add those spacers on so it doesn't crack the door as well. So it's very simple. It's not hard at all. Just a little bit time consuming with the door rivets, but other than that, it's pretty easy. All right, so we have the 5 door plugs right here, your little clips. And you have the Street Faction door card right here going on. Now, before you do anything with the clips, leave those on the ground. Before you actually put it on, make sure you get your little lever, nylon lever through the little slit they have there for you. And then once that is through, you can start popping these little things in. Nice and easy. It's pretty sweet. You're not gonna do it too snug yet, just get the bottom ones in. And then once that is in, you can start adding the bolts. But no, it's pretty freaking simple. So there's, I think, 5 on the bottom right here, like that. So now it is all ready to go. And then once that is done like that is right now, we will go and get the nuts and the spacers. And I'll explain why I was saying they have spacers so you don't tighten it too tight and crack this itself. So it's pretty smart, pretty easy like I've said. So yeah. All right, so you have an assortment of nuts and bolts right here, and well, you have an assortment of bolts right here and these nylon spacers as well. Okay, so each side has 3 normal length bolts, and you have 1 long bolt. And the long bolt, it goes on the right side towards the end of the door on the bottom hole for the riv nut. And then the rest will go with the normal size with the bigger nylon spacer. So I'll show you where the longer bolt and the smaller spacer goes. So you have 5 holes, 1, 2, well, 4 essentially. So we'll do this one. These are not fully pushed in yet. I'm going to tap this in with a mallet after I'm done. But basically what you want to do is you want to pull this back, slide the longer nut through, or bolt, whatever you want to call it, through. This might be a little bit tricky. You kind of gotta push this through. I'm struggling a little bit right here, but it's okay. And catch that spacer behind, and then get into the hole. Now don't thread this in fully yet. Do it, just get it threaded so it's like, you know, in there, and then continue on with the smaller normal size bolts for the rest of these, and then tap these in with the rubber mallet, and then screw all these in, and you're good to go. Put the window mover thingy on there, and then you're good. But all in all, this thing looks so much better. Let me get this light at a better angle. Yeah, that looks freaking sick. So much more sleek and aftermarket looking, kind of to match the dash almost. Not the same color, but you know, it's not stock and it's more of a race car look. So I love it. I'm super stoked on this. I've been waiting years for these, and to finally get this is freaking sweet. So I'm gonna finish it up and get this side done and go to the next side. All right, so we are officially installed. Now get your rubber mallet or hammer and just give it a little, oh, that one's a little loose. Little tap. This thing looks freaking so much better than the OEM stuff. More race car stuff now. I know some people are like, oh, you know, having OEM door cards is pretty cool and in a race car. Yeah, it's cool, but this is pretty sweet. I like the more slick look, and I kind of want to get rid of the X bars in the cage and do a different kind of X bar to have a little bit more room, because it is pretty tight, and X bars are only for mostly cars that have interior, and that's why I did do that a while ago. But me and Belle were talking, we can do some cool door bars with a little bit more space with this door card itself. So also people are like, you know, get rid of the doors, and we'll get rid of the door cards and dual ladder bars, no windows and all that. But no, I want windows, I want all that kind of stuff, and it is weight, but you know, whatever. But I just want something cool, and this looks awesome to me. So hell yeah. Okay, so this side is, oh, it's not completely done yet. 1 second. Okay, now it's done. But I actually might go paint this. This is terrible. So yeah, there's that. But cool. All right, driver's side is done. I got to pull the car out and back in because I cannot open that side right now because it's smushed against that side of the house. So yeah, quick flipperoonie, and we'll go to the other side. thing sounds so damn good, but the axle is still broken, but it's easy to still move. But I ordered some new parts. They'll be here next week, so maybe next video we'll fix that whole rear end and get that thing back to 100% and go drive again. But for now, we'll do that next door card, and then we'll be done for the night. All right, so this car was originally red, if you guys did not know, and I have to paint kind of up here and back here and then there, and then behind the door handle itself, and then a few other areas so I don't see red. I don't want to see red on my nice black and gray car. It'll drive me nuts. But other than that, we should be good to go. And then we'll let it dry for a bit, come back to it, and then continue the process. But honestly, I'm only painting up top, so I can probably just do the rest of everything else while that dries. All right, so next door is right here. Start off by drilling out all the holes, getting ready for riv nuts, and then after that, we will continue on to putting those in, and then same process as before, and then we'll get the other door card on, and we'll be donezo. And then the car will officially not have any more OEM trim to it, which is pretty cool because it is a race car, and I am stoked to have more of a race car with nicer door panels, so it looks extra clean, and we can maybe do different door bars on the cage. So, all right, so finishing up this right now, and then we'll get to riveting on the new riv nuts. Okay, so the Street Faction passenger side door card is on, and it looks freaking so sick. This thing's much more sleeker. It's probably more durable, much stronger polyurethane. It looks brand new compared to the other 30-year-old door cards that I had, and now it just looks super freaking slick, and I love it. I've always wanted these, like I've said, and I'm stoked on it. But I did mess up and put the wrong I put the strap in the wrong hole, so now I have only a little bit here. I can always pull it off and change that later, but the riv knot I use already in the other hole, so I don't feel like doing that right now. And other than that, it looks good. I'm very excited. I have to add the window, you know, switch thingy in there, and then we'll be good to go. Again, thanks to Street Faction for hooking up with these door cards. I'm super stoked with these, and they look great, and it is the final touch of the interior of this car, and I am very happy with it. So stoked on that. Looks super good. Other than that, this video might be just about over, but I'm stoked. Looks sick. In the next video, we will get back to the drivetrain of this thing, dialing that in, and then getting out there and driving again. Tomorrow, I'll pull the car out in the daylight so you guys can see in the daylight, and then in the video there. So I'll see you then. All right, next day, out in the daylight, these things look so good, much more clean, sleek look. Super stoked on them. Street Faction does an awesome job designing all their products, and it looks great. Super happy with that. Excited to do more with them soon, but for now, these are freaking sweet. Super happy with it, even when the door's closed. Much more sleek look, and again, we do have a lot more room for activities cage wise. Right now, it's not like a lot of more room, but I can definitely do more of a ladder style bar, I'm pretty sure. So that's one of the things we're gonna do pretty soon as well. But all in all, this thing looks awesome. But that will be it for today's video. Not much of a video, but I wanted to show you guys these awesome door cards done by Street Faction. So I'm very happy with it, so hell yeah. But in the next video, we're gonna go back to fixing the rear end of this car. I was gonna do a Z-diff, but I changed plans and going a different route. So I'm excited for that. No, it's not a quick change. I wish it was. One day I'll get one of those. That's just too much car and a lot of money, and it causes tires to go by way faster. So not there yet, maybe in a few years, but it's a cheaper route and it's much easier than what we're gonna do. So, but yeah, that's the next video. Once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.